Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Kiana and I am back with another video. Today we are going to be talking about my DNA and my ancestry and kind of where I come from, what I am, etc. So on my mom's side, I'll give you guys a little bit of background to start off because that kind of helps. But on my mom's side, I knew from my great grandparents, like my great grandma, as far as I was told, was like Native, Indian, and Black, African American, and then my grandfather was African American, and he was mixed with white, but he was considered and classified as white because of his skin color, his eye color, and stuff like that. And then, you have my grandma, which is like a mixture of that. And I didn't really know my grandpa on my mom's side. So as far as I knew, like we had some European, I guess, and then some African American and Indian on my mom's side. And then on my dad's side, I didn't really know much other than, my grandparents from my dad, and they're just African American as far as I know. But my dad, when he was younger, had very light, like blonde hair, which was pretty cool. So I'm sure that could come from being African American or, like an African ancestry or European, either or. But like my dad is of a darker skin complexion. And then my mom, she's a lighter skin complexion, but she has very soft, like really, I don't even know how to describe, like different type of textured hair. And so as far as I knew, like maybe she's, passing down from the lineage, she's, some type of mixture between white, Black, and Indian. And so I was curious. I got bored one day and I was like, I know that's like the most random thing to do when you're bored, but I was like, I want to see, a little bit more about where I come from and what the actual breakdowns of what I received from my parents is. Because when I was younger, I actually had really light blondish brown hair. So I'll insert like some pictures. But I had a little bit of a darker skin complexion than I did now, and I'm sure that's some of that comes from being in the sun and stuff. When I'm younger, I'm out a little bit more, playing a little bit more, but definitely I had that same kind of hair color as my dad. And a lot of people always ask me if I'm more than African American, and I'm always like, no, because like in my mind, I don't know of anything that would make me think that directly, so I'm not going to sit here and tell other people yes. So I was like, no, I'm just Black. Maybe I have a little bit of this or that in there, maybe, but I'm just African American. So I did my test and the results actually came back fairly quick, so I was pretty shocked about that, but I was pretty excited. So I'm going to give you guys the breakdown. I have it here in front of me, and I also placed it on the screen so you guys can see it as I'm breaking it down. So 54% of my DNA comes from Nigeria, which I was super excited to hear because I'm like, okay, so a lot of like my lineage and what I am specifically is West African. And of course, with history, we know like a lot of the slave trade happened from West Africa. So like a lot of that wasn't too surprising, but I have Nigeria as 54%, Cameroon, Congo, and Western Bantu 20%, and then Mali 11%. So about, what is that? I would say about 85 of my lineage comes from West Africa. So I would say 85, 86. So I have 1%, like it's a very small percentage from Benin and Togo. And I had to research like what all these different places were, because I was like, I never heard of like Cameroon and Congo, and I never heard of Mali, which is, y'all can judge me, but I never heard of those places, and I never heard of Benin and Togo. But I had to research, and they have a lot of different ethnicities in each place, which is pretty cool. So that's where a lot of my DNA comes from. So then the 10% I have is from England and Northwestern Europe. And that's just like, I guess, Belgium, I don't know, in that area. England, whatever that is. I have 2% Norway, which is shocking because I was always told I was Irish, Indian, Jewish, and black, like my mom. But Norwegian, I never knew I had like any of that in there. So 2% from Norway, and then 2% from Ireland, which I kind of, guessed that would be there. So I'm about 15% white, I guess, European. So everything else is African. So I thought that was so cool. My sister actually was on here, and she and my aunt both had their results posted. Because, of course, when you do your DNA, whatever, like your test, if you don't know, it'll pop up and show you, like, people that have done their test as well, like, if they're related to you or if they're a match. And so my aunt and my sister came up on my mom's side, and they have, like, Scotland and something else, like, both of them. So my sister's, like, about 33% European, like she has 33%, 34%, something around there. Same with my aunt, like they have a higher percentage of like European background. So I guess like a lot more of my family than we thought has a lot more European on my mom's side, and then my dad's side is basically very low percentage, because I saw his results too. Very low percentage European. So I guess I got a lot more of that from my mom's side. But yeah, I thought that was so cool. So I have like that exact breakdown. I can't wait until, because they do like little updates, so I can't wait until they can break this down further so I can find out like different things. Because one cool thing that I saw, they will try to predict like, oh, we think your hair is this type, and then we think your skin tone is this color. And so for me, they were thinking that my skin tone was a darker skin complexion, which I'm very light, and my mom is very, very light. Like she's lighter than me. Like she has very, 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 very light skin. Like she's dang near white. And then my dad, like I said, he has darker skin. So I and my brother have lighter skin complexions. And that's why I think that comes from, like, it's just a mix of me and my brother being, me and my mom. Or me and my mom and my dad. And then they were guessing that my hair texture was actually wavy, which I was shocked to see, because I'm like, wavy, like whatever breakdown they got, I guess my ancestry from, maybe that specific ethnicity or that area and region are known to have looser hair patterns, but my actual natural hair texture is curly, and I would say more tighter curls, maybe like 3C hair type, I don't know, something around that. So I was like, that's pretty interesting. So it was cool to kind of see like the difference between, like I said, my aunt and my sister and my dad. Like basically me and my dad were about the same. I just have a lot more European in me than he does. And then my sister has a lot more European in me. She's my half sister, but she has a lot more European in me, or in her, than I do. Why I keep saying me? But I thought that was so cool. So cool. So now I know a lot more about like where I come from, which I feel like that kind of is cool to just like kind of do that self-discovery and like learn more about lineage, because I would have never guessed like any of my family had Norwegian in them. Like that was like a total shock. And I thought that was pretty cool to see, because it's just like, oh, okay. I learned something new about myself. And then like Mali and Cameroon and Nigeria, like those are all beautiful places in Africa, and it just makes me want to learn more about the culture and like more about where I come from and where my family comes from. So I don't know, maybe I'll do a little bit more diving and digging and just seeing like more about my lineage. I know one thing that I did know, because I've always researched my last name just because I felt like it was just different, and I never seen anyone with the same last name or similar. Like I have a very different last name, but my last name is Anglo-Saxon, which kind of explains, I guess, some of my European lineage. So I'm assuming that, down the line, one of my great whatever, how many far down the line greats, grandfathers was European, and that's where my name trickled down from. So it was pretty cool just to see like it backed up in my ancestry, because I kind of knew that it's like an Anglo-Saxon name, and I think that comes from like my England part of my lineage. So I think everybody in America, African Americans, have like some type of mixture there. So I don't think anybody's just specifically playing as they African American. Of course, are African, like they don't just have African in them. But yeah, it's pretty cool just to see, unless you have like something that you know your family is. I didn't know, because I'm like, I knew my great grandparents, but you know, I only knew specific amounts of family, so this just helped me understand myself better. But yeah, you guys, that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys learn a little bit more about me. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys did this test, like, let me know down below, and if you felt like you discovered some cool things about yourself or your family. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.